Hi everybody, welcome to today's episode of In the Glow. I'm Shealeigh, the National Education Manager here at Paula's Choice.
And I'm Desiree Storedall, the Senior Research and Education Manager. Long title. And today's show is all about myth busting.
And some of you, if you are loyal watchers of In the Glow, may have noticed that we just busted our first myth, which is, I can actually introduce the show. It's the first time, but now, myth busted.
We're also going to, we want you guys to write in with questions too. So anything you want us to bust, write in. We're going to be taking some of the common ones we get asked about a lot. But also, we thought it would be fun if we play the game Two Truths, One Lie with you guys. So we're going to bust some personal myths. So we'll say two truths about ourselves and one lie. And you guys write in with which one you think is the lie, and then at the end of the show, we'll reveal which the answer is.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, sure. I have to write mine down because I don't think I can look into camera and say mine without giving away the lie and laughing.
She's a very honest person.
I'm a very honest person. I'm not a good liar.
I wrote it down, and I'm probably not going to lie.
Okay, so again, there's two truths in here and one lie. I'm not going to tell you the order because obviously you have to guess. So the first one is, I was a performing juggler in the 4th grade. Second one is, I took first place in a rock, paper, scissors tournament in Canada last year. And the third one is, I blacked out from nervousness on my first live TV show appearance. So you guys write in with which one you think is the lie. You can just do it by number 1, 2, or 3.
For anybody tuning in, Desiree didn't black out. She blacked out from nervousness.
Blacked out from nervousness. If that is the truth, we don't know.
Who knows?
Okay, let's get yours.
Okay, so mine, I have 43 tattoos. I am a published poet. And oh my God, I spaced you guys. I should have looked, and I'm a twin.
Okay, so which one of those is the lie? So for Shealeigh's, write an S by the number that you put for the lie so that we know which one for Desiree. D for Desiree, S for Shealeigh. And then we'll reveal those later on in the show. But let's get into the actual skincare myths. I can start it off with one that we get asked about all the time. And that is whether your skin can adapt to skincare products or to particular ingredients. And also one that kind of goes in line with that is people will also ask if, their skin can become so addicted to a moisturizer that its own oils actually stop producing. Those two kind of go hand in hand. So the really quick and easy answer is that no, your skin doesn't adapt to good ingredients and stop working. It doesn't stop reaping the benefits of them. What often happens is when you first start using a product or a particular ingredient, you do tend to see more dramatic results because they're treating something that you're trying to treat, right? Like when you think about our exfoliants, and if you've never used one of our leave-on exfoliants before, and then you see such dramatic results in the beginning because you're getting off those dead layers of skin. You're helping skin unclog, decongest pores. You're helping skin smooth out. And from there on, as you continue to use it, you're maintaining those results. So there gets to a certain point where you can only do so much, right? It's not like in the case, for instance, of our new niacinamide, our 20% niacinamide, it helps minimize pores. There will come a point where you can't totally erase pores. So we need those. You can't completely get rid of them. You can't completely close them. So even though in the beginning you might feel like you saw more dramatic pore minimizing, what you do over the course of time of using that product is maintain those results. Not to mention niacinamide has a wealth of other benefits from skin, but that's just an example of why I think people get confused and think their skin is adapting and it's not working anymore. And in terms of skin becoming addicted to a moisturizer and people, thinking then their own body isn't, or their own skin isn't producing the oils anymore, that's not true. That doesn't physiologically check out. That's not how it works. So you don't have to worry about that. Keep using the good formulas, the good ingredients that you're using. Consistency really is key, and that's how you'll see really good results.
And I think too, on that note, it's also managing expectations, right? If you are first starting to use retinol and pretty quickly you start to see fine lines soften, maybe you start to notice more even, bright skin tone, but it doesn't get brighter, your fine lines don't diminish even more, maybe you need to take it a step further. Maybe it's a higher strength retinol, or maybe it's something that common retinols that you buy over the counter aren't just going to give you those same results. So you'll need to go maybe to a doctor, consult with somebody professional to get something higher strength.
Yeah, it's not that your skin has adapted, it's that certain levels only get you to a certain place.
Yep.
And exactly what you said, managing those expectations. Okay, which myth did you want to bust?
Well, speaking of retinol, there's actually a lot of misconceptions around retinol, and one that I hear all the time is that retinol exfoliates the skin. Retinol, I think, gives some folks the impression that it's exfoliating the skin, especially when you first start to use it, or if you start to use one that's too strong, because you might notice some sort of flakiness on the surface of your skin. However, retinol is not breaking down those dead skin cells on skin surface. It is not breaking down the bonds that are holding those together. Instead, it's actually working from kind of the inside out, and exfoliants are working from the outside in, right? Not really quite as much in, but really working on the surface level to break down those dead skin cells. Retinol, on the other hand, is working more internally to help your skin produce happier, healthy skin cells that are more plump, round, not dry, dead serrated. So they work better together. So use your AHA and BHA with your retinol. You can layer them back to back, which is another misconception. A lot of folks think that you can't layer them. You absolutely can, as long as it doesn't cause your skin any irritation, and go from there.
And with the flaking issue, if that's what people are seeing, if you see that like the first couple times you try a retinol product, that's fine. But if you continually see that, then you may need to switch to a lower percentage. You may need to experiment how you apply it. You may need to decrease frequency. So we always say it's a really good idea to start out, if you're brand new to retinol and you're using higher strength, like just try once a week and see how your skin does. And then you can build up more. But in terms of seeing that flakiness, that redness, or what people perceive to be exfoliation with the flakiness, if that's continually happening, then really you might want to think about how you use that product and temper it back a little bit.
That's why I love our clinical, I love our clinical 1%, but our 1% retinol booster, I don't think gets the credit it really deserves sometimes. It is such a chameleon product that you can mix in with maybe a heavier moisturizer, mix it in with a nourishing serum. I love mixing it in with our CBD milk as a really nice little buffer. So there are really fun ways to play around with that one, especially if you have maybe been a little bit more sensitive to the clinical 1% retinol.
Ooh, it looks like we have a question.
We have a myth that someone would like you to bust, which is, what about the myth that starting to use antioxidants, BHA or retinol too early in life will cause your skin to become overly reliant or dependent?
It's not true. So just think about it like if you were eating broccoli early on in life, and the nutrients you get from broccoli are still beneficial 50 years later. Your skin doesn't adapt to those ingredients. It doesn't lose its ability to retain their benefits. It's really like the diet analogy. What's good for you then can continue to be good for you. Of course, skin changes over time, so I'm not saying you have to use the same thing your entire life. Of course, there are things that are going to change about your skin, but in terms of what those ingredients can do, it remains true. Okay, should I go to my next one?
Yeah, let's go back to another one of yours.
Okay, another one we get asked about and we see a lot on social media is the whole myth of keeping your skincare products in the refrigerator to preserve them, or some of you just do it for fun. And truth be told, the issue is when you store them long term. If you just want to pop a moisturizer or a mask or an eye cream in the fridge for a few minutes and just to give your skin like a cooling sensation, that is fine. If you are keeping them in there long term, that's when it can start to take effect on their stability. So extreme low temperatures long term really can degrade the product. If it were just a shorter amount of time, again, no big deal, but it's really those extremes where you have the extreme hot, the extreme cold. You don't want to do that to products. Another thing that I've seen is there's been some new trends of keeping certain skincare tools in the freezer. And that one scares me. That can give you freezer burn on your face, essentially. You don't want to do that. That kind of extreme cold contact with skin is not going to be good. So aside from what the skincare formulas are doing and breaking down because of that extreme cold, keeping tools in the freezer, absolutely not. Do not do that one. Maybe for like 2 minutes would be okay, but anything longer than that.
I always think refreshing is fine, shocking is not.
Yes.
Shocking is your skin reacting. It's saying, danger, Will Robinson, no thanks. That's, I think, what my skin says. But yeah, refreshing, great. Shocking, no.
I like that. Okay, what's your next myth?
Well, let's get into the actual packaging that our products come in. A lot of folks think that if your beauty or cosmetic product comes in a plastic packaging, this one is a good example, or let's say it comes in glass packaging, that you can recycle it curbside just like you normally would any other personal care product or food, takeout, any of that stuff. And the fact of the matter is, most beauty cosmetic products, plastic, glass, what have you, cannot be recycled curbside, either due to the size of the packaging or the actual material the packaging is made out of. It can vary drastically from city to city, county, so the best way for you to confirm whether or not your products can be recycled curbside is to check your city's website. You can also check out berecycled.org. Or if you're purchasing Paula's Choice products, we have launched a partnership with TerraCycle. So you can actually send back all of your Paula's Choice empties at no cost to you. We provide the shipping label, and your products are shipped back to our facility and recycled through TerraCycle, which can recycle, saying recycle a lot, recycle all of our different packaging components, from samples, travel sizes, lids, full sizes, any of that stuff. Send it back. We want it. We want to make sure that it gets recycled and gets to be turned into really cool things like park benches.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have a big stash at my house right now because obviously you want to build up enough to send back. But I've also been telling my girlfriends, give me your Paula's Choice products when you're done with them so that I can do it. Because I know some of them are going to be too lazy to do that. So if you have a crew of friends who happen to all use Paula's Choice as well, that's a really nice way to just stock it up, send it all back in one big shipment. And then everything goes to a good cause.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have another question?
We have another question, which is it safe to use microneedling tools at home or use at-home microneedling tools?
So we have chatted about this in the past.
Yeah.
Microneedling can be overdone when it's done by yourself at home. If you go and get it done professionally every once in a while, I'm not as worried about it. I'm more worried about people doing it to themselves, over wounding the skin, and also the type of collagen that microneedling basically triggers, basically helps produce, is not. It's a rougher type of collagen. So you're not going to get the same pliability, the same suppleness as you would with, helping your skin actually build up its own natural collagen a little more effectively. So I don't want to say it's a total no-no to get microneedling done, but I think if you're going to do it in a professional setting.
Yeah.
What would you say?
As an esthetician, I always like to encourage folks to get their professional services done by a professional. Even when you are certified as a microneedler, there are very specific guidelines to follow as far as the depth of the needle, how many passes you can take on one area, how many passes you can take on just a general area, and how many you can go over for a more stubborn or tenacious concern area. All of that being said, it's best to leave it to the professionals. Plus, I think from a sanitary standpoint, it can be a little bit troubling if you're not following standard sanitary protocols with at-home microneedling devices. You might actually be inviting things like bacteria, pathogens, that could cause things like acne or something even more extreme. If you're inviting all of those not so good things that we want to leave on the outside inside, it's only going to cause more harm than good.
Did you used to do microneedling for your clients?
No, I like to do it for myself, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I love that folks would trust me. I just couldn't do it.
Respectable. Okay, my next myth is that we often have people ask us if they can use exfoliants around the eyes because they believe that they can't. They're worried about it being irritating, the skin being too thin. And the truth of it is that you can use exfoliants around the eye. You can gently do it around the orbital bone. You don't want to go up to the lash line. That is getting too high. But you can do it in this area, the area that, for me, that's where I get my expression lines, my crow's feet area. And so what it does is when you're able to smooth that skin out, when you're able to get rid of that built up dead skin, it does help fine lines and wrinkles just soften their appearance. It makes them look less visible. It's not necessarily getting rid of them, but it is definitely minimizing their appearance. So it's actually a really good thing to do. You can do it with the liquid. You can do it with our BHA lotion. You can do it with the AHAs. There really is no texture that you can't do it in. It's completely fine.
And especially if you regularly wear concealer around your under eyes, it's even more important, in my opinion, to make sure that you are using some sort of gentle exfoliant up around the orbital bone. Concealers can be really thick, heavy. It's great if you're using a wonderful cleanser to remove them thoroughly at the end of each night, but they can start to settle in around fine lines. Even the best cleansers sometimes don't catch all of the dirt and debris left behind, especially with a heavy concealer. So even more reason to at least give an exfoliant a shot around the orbital bone.
And one thing we don't talk about a ton when we talk about our exfoliants is the fact that they also help other ingredients penetrate better afterwards. So because you're getting rid of that built up dead layer, everything just gets through that much more effectively. And for the orbital bone, that's a really great area for ingredients to be able to do their thing. So another reason to use it there.
And your concealer will wear better. Full circle.
Okay, did you have another one?
I'm gonna bring it back to retinol. There is a misconception around retinol not being safe for daytime use. And retinol is vitamin A. Retinol is an amazing antioxidant, and if there's one thing we know about antioxidants is they are amazing for daytime use and wear, especially underneath your sunscreen or mixed with your sunscreen in an SPF moisturizer. I pulled out the Intensive Wrinkle Repair Retinol Serum as a really good option for daytime retinol use because it's got the vitamin A, the retinol, it's got vitamin C, it's got vitamin E, so I call it my little ACE serum. It has a really soft, velvety, beautiful texture that layers really wonderfully underneath makeup. Great if you are interested in introducing your retinol maybe twice a day if your skin can tolerate it. Daytime use may be one that's stronger in the nighttime.
And to back it up, when you said mixed with your sunscreen, meaning literally built into the formula, not actually like physically mixing them, because of course you never want to dilute your sunscreen. I knew that's what you meant. I just wanted to clarify for everyone out there. Looks like we have another question.
Why are there myths about not using certain actives together?
Some of the myths stem from really old studies that used either higher concentrations or different forms or just not modern cosmetic formulations of these ingredients that produced results that were unfavorable. But we've then since been able to see studies come out that show that these actives, a really good one is niacinamide and vitamin C often gets said that you can't use it together. Research now shows that you can. It was like studies from back in the 1950s that have since been debunked. Retinol with all types of actives
Pretty much
over the years gets a lot of misinformation on the internet, but sometimes it's either studies or it's not even always research. There is just information that's propagated out there that isn't always true, and that's why we look to the research and give you that information so that you can make informed decisions. Another one?
Yeah, we have another one, which is, do I really need a toner? It feels nice, but does it really do anything?
Okay, I have thoughts, but you can go first.
Toners of yesteryear, right, weren't the best products to leave in your routine.
Seabreeze.
Yep, shout out Seabreeze. They were too astringent. They were loaded with bad ingredients for skin, things like drying harsh alcohol.
Witch hazel.
I was gonna say tons of witch hazel. All of these ingredients left the skin really dry, dehydrated, compromised. So not only were they not doing anything for skin, they were actually setting skin back. Toners nowadays, or the toners that you should be looking for, are loaded with really nourishing, skin replenishing, hydrating ingredients, antioxidants. Oftentimes they can be used almost like a liquid serum or a liquid moisturizer because they're so jam-packed. They also help replenish those really vital substances in skin that we can lose as we cleanse. Even if you use a really amazing cleanser, water still will rinse it away, cleansers still rinse away these really important key substances in skin that we need for skin to feel soft, supple, hydrated, and ready to receive any other skincare products you might be applying, your serums, your exfoliants, your moisturizers. So, is it a crucial step in your routine if you want to keep things simple? No, you don't need one. However, if you would like to use one, we've got a lot of great ones, and there are some really good ones out there on the market that will just load your skin up with even more good replenishing ingredients.
Yeah, that's pretty much my same assumption is, do you have to have any skincare product?
Right.
No, that's a truly personal choice. But as Shealeigh was saying, after that cleansing process, it's really good to instantly replenish skin. And great toners are going to load your skin up with all those great ingredients. If you were instantly putting on a serum or a moisturizer that has tons of great ingredients in it, that's fine too. You're obviously replenishing your skin that way. I think where they really come in handy, I mean, I think all skin types can benefit from them, but for somebody like me with that oily skin where I'm not somebody who traditionally used moisturizers or serums because I didn't want to feel that heaviness on my skin, that's how I got all those same ingredients that everybody else was getting from moisturizers and serums, is I was getting them from my toners. So having a product like that can really help. I also love that they help get last traces of makeup off. So if there was anything that your cleanser left behind, you just kind of know that this is like that extra backup step to make sure your skin is optimally clean. So yeah, even though they're not necessary, they are one of those products that I recommend to all of my friends. And really, once you get used to using them, your skin, you don't ever want to go back after that. Like your skin feels so much better after you cleanse and use a toner right on.
And not to keep talking about toners, but I'm going to keep talking about toners. Really, my personal experience with them too is that when I don't tone and I immediately go in with a serum, oftentimes serums feel sticky to me. I don't feel like they're absorbing in very well. And if I use a toner beforehand, I just feel like my skin is plush, ready to receive all of those really good serum ingredients, and I don't get that sticky tackiness.
Good point. So one other myth that actually just came up from a recent article was, this article was basically saying if you're putting your facial oil on before your moisturizer, you're doing it all wrong. And they were kind of calling out that thinnest to thickest recommendation for using your skincare products. And, you know, as a team, we talked about it. Brian and I chatted about it. Shealeigh and I chatted about it. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes, their point was that facial oils and oils in general block other ingredients from penetrating into skin. And here's why that's not true. First of all, oils come in all different kinds of ways. There's all different kinds of heaviness and molecular weights to oils. So making that blanket statement doesn't work. Also, when you think about your skin's natural oils, if it were true that oil blocked other ingredients from penetrating, then somebody like me with that oil slick of a skin wouldn't be getting any ingredients into their skin, and we know that's not true. And in fact, there are some oils that can help ingredients penetrate better. Coconut oil is an ingredient that can help the penetration enhancement. There's others too, but basically, whether you put your facial oil on before or after your moisturizer, it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna penetrate. The other ingredients are gonna penetrate. They're gonna go where they need to go and do their thing. That thinnest to thickest rule is a generalization. You don't have to take it as the final word. You know, you can switch up order. So whether you do it before or after, it's not that big of a deal. You know, some of the other things that said in the article, they made some good analogies that were interesting, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't check out. Those ingredients still penetrate in. If oil could block everything off of our skin from penetrating, then pollutants wouldn't be able to get in. And we know that's true, that they do get into skin. So just don't worry about it. Use your facial oil when you want to use it.
Or mix it into your moisturizer.
Yeah, you don't have to use it before or after. You can use them together. Question.
That's brought up another myth that's a couple of people are asking about, which is about coconut oil and whether it can clog pores.
So, okay, oils of any kind, it honestly depends on your skin type too. Oils of any kind could be pore clogging depending on the state of your skin to begin with. So if you're somebody with congested pores and adding more oil on top and not exfoliating, you can have that problem. But in and of itself, it just depends on how you're using it. And it depends on like what kind of formula it's in, how it's, you know, combined with other oils. If you're straight up putting it on your skin, people prone to breakouts are probably going to break out from that, like they would from many different types of oils.
Yeah, I've seen some different things around, you know, if it's fractionated, it's not going to be quite as potentially pore clogging for some folks. But again, it's all about skin type, and it's also what other products are you using, right? Desiree brought up a good point around exfoliation. I think anytime you're using something a little bit more rich, exfoliation is key. Even if you're not always prone to pore congestion, it's just going to help you get the most out of the product and also potentially help prevent from either congested pores or preventing it from blocking anything else that might be getting into your skin too.
Should we reveal either of our truths and lies yet?
Oh, yeah.
Have people been guessing? If you guys haven't, do it now. We'll give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Go. You went first.
Okay. I'll start with my truths. The first one was true. I was a performing juggler in the 4th grade. So
What did you juggle?
we just had like beanbag type of balls that we juggled. My 4th grade teacher, hopefully is not watching this, I doubt he is, kind of went off the rails and we did not learn for a whole year. We literally spent our entire 4th grade learning how to juggle. Every day in class we would practice juggling. And then the big finale was to do a performance at basically what our small town's version of a county fair would be. So to this day, it is my party trick. It is like, if I need to bust out a skill and impress people, I still have those juggling skills.
Oh my God.
All because of that 4th grade. So maybe I didn't learn anything educationally, but it did give me a life skill that I've brought on with me all these years.
I wish I had a cool party trick. That is 100% a transferable skill. Nailed it.
Okay, the other truth was that I blacked out from nervousness on my very first live TV show. That was when my very first book that I had co-authored with Paula, I think it was the 9th edition of Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me. And I would have been 26 years old, so this was 10 years ago. And we have a local show here in Seattle called New Day Northwest. And Paula couldn't do it, so I kind of came in last minute to do it. And I was so nervous. All I remember is saying a prayer before I went out on stage. Went out on stage, actually did great. I still have the clip, and out of all of my live TV performances, it might be one of my favorites. Like, I just really nailed it and was very genuine. But the second I walked off that stage, I did not remember a thing I had said. And so had I not had that clip, I never would have known how it went because I was just so nervous. And if you knew me as like a middle schooler, I was the kid who did not want to get up in front of the class and do like an oral presentation. I would beg the teacher to ask if I could record it at home and play it for the class. That was how nervous I was. So it's pretty ironic that I do what I do now and do things like this and public speak on behalf of Paula's Choice and get to travel around the world doing it, which is awesome because had you known me back then, I never would have thought that was possible. Dream big dreams. Okay, so the lie was that I took first place in a rock, paper, scissors tournament in Canada last year. I actually did participate in the tournament and I got 3rd place, not first place. But had I won, it was a $500 prize. And had I won, the girls I was with on the trip, we were all gonna go to the Snoop Dogg concert that night with the money. Oh my God. But I lost and I got a Herschel backpack instead, which is still pretty good.
I think I've seen you use that backpack.
It's come in very handy.
Awesome. So you got a life skill, you got a backpack, and you got a great clip.
There we go.
Awesome. So mine, of course, I messed up on a truth. So I'll start. The one that I forgot is actually a truth. I am a twin. I have an identical twin sister. So that one was true. And my number of tattoos was true. I have 43 tattoos. And
which is your favorite tattoo?
It depends on the day. It depends on my mood. It depends on what I'm looking at. I can't see a lot of them. So I'm more apt to give more love to the ones that I could see. And that does include ones that I've covered up. So I do count those as two because I know that they're hiding underneath there. The one that was a lie was being a published poet. I am published, but I am a published essayist, not a poet. I can bust out some really good rhymes though sometimes. Like nursery school rhymes, but like adult rhymes.
I thought you were talking about rap rhymes at that point. I'd like to see that.
My go-to karaoke song is Shoop.
Oh, okay.
But that does not mean I do it well. It just means that I don't have to sing.
I like it. Okay, well, time is out, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We always want to know what you guys want to hear about, so please do write in and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.